Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be reviewing the new Huda Beauty foundation. I am so excited. I have been following Huda even before she came out with like her brand. I've been following her since she was just a blogger, and I've been like obsessed with her ever since, literally. If you guys know me personally or are my friends, you guys know that I love Huda and her family. I would literally move there if she told me like, hey, come work for me. I would be like, bye mom, bye dad, bye family, I'm coming to you. As soon as she launches anything, I'm the first one to buy it. So when I heard that she was coming out with the foundation, me and my cousin, who were both equally obsessed with her, we like went online and like started looking at our shades and what would match best with us. So I got the color Chai, and this is a perfect match for me. These foundations do oxidize a tiny bit, but that's okay because my concealer is definitely lighter than my skin tone, so I can like even it out. If you want to see my full review on the Huda Beauty foundation, then just keep watching. Okay, so let's start with packaging. So I know a lot of people have an issue with the packaging because it is plastic. Now when I first saw it, I thought it was glass. Like, she did a great job making it look like glass, and she also said that that's what she wanted to make it look like, but it is plastic. Now this doesn't bother me because I don't know, I just usually don't care what my packaging looks like if like the product is great. But a lot of people said, you know, when you're paying for something, you're not just paying for the product, you're also paying for like the way it looks, the way it sits, the way it's carried. So a lot of people were upset that this was not a glass bottle, but also she mentioned in her Snapchat that she travels a lot and she wanted something that's very durable, and plastic is definitely more durable than glass. And the great thing is this does have a pump, thank the Lord. And I'm just going to read to you some of the claims this foundation claims. So there are 30 shades, which I think is great. It says the coverage is medium to full, and the skin type is normal, dry, combination, oily, and the finish is satin, matte, radiant, and natural. A full coverage cream foundation that visibly conceals blemishes and imperfections for a filter-like finish. So it's packed with a bunch of pigments, diminishing the appearance of blemishes, scars, hyperpigmentation, redness, to create a flawless airbrush finish. There's argan oil and centella acetate. I don't even know how to say this, but both that hydrate your skin. And it says it leaves your skin matte with a hint of sheen for a luminous appear. You can wear it alone for full coverage or blend it together with the primer that Huda Beauty has, which I did not buy because it's very hard for me to find a primer that works for my skin because I am oily, but I do tend to get dry patches around my face, even though I exfoliate and stuff like that. So I just stick to what I love. She uses one pump for her whole face. And I did watch a bunch of reviews because I got this as soon as it came out, and now it's like been out for a while and I haven't had the chance to review it. So in the meantime, I was just watching a couple reviews, and people were taking like pumping like 2 to 3 pumps, which looked a lot. And also she said like you don't want to do that because since this is a full coverage foundation, like any other full coverage foundation, it can eventually start looking cakey, especially if you only need one pump. That's like, you know, just go from there, and then if you need more, then you can just build it up. Do one pump like she said. And this does have like a very florally skincare scent to it. It doesn't bother me, but I'm sure people that are sensitive to smell, it will bother them, but for me it's not a big deal. And also, one more thing, I have been wearing this foundation since it came out, so this will be like a first impression slash review. Well, not even a first impression, this is basically a review of the foundation, and I am going to wear it all day today. It is 11:08 right now. I'm going to be wearing it to school all day, and then whenever I come back, you know, I'll show you guys what it looks like and give my final thoughts. So I'm just gonna take it. So this side I'm gonna do it with a brush, and then the other side, since a lot of people like using the beauty blender, I'm gonna do it with the beauty blender. And this brush I'm using is the Bare Minerals brush. I usually don't, since I've been using this foundation, I don't apply it in this area because that's where I have dry patches, and I feel like this foundation can cling a little bit. So this side of my face is done, and here is what it looks like compared to this side. So as you guys can see, this side is like, so it matches my like skin perfectly, and it does oxidize a little bit, which is fine. So as you guys can see, I don't have too much acne, but I do have a lot of scarring. So this definitely got rid of like literally all of my scarring. Like I barely used any foundation. I have so much left. So this definitely got rid of all of that. And compared to this side, you guys can see I have like a lot of broken blood vessels around my nose. I have like a lot of pigmentation around my mouth. I have a lot of acne scarring on this side, so you guys can see that. And then compare it to this side. Like, who is she? So yeah, the coverage for this is freaking phenomenal, and you don't even have to use much at all. And it is a little sticky, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do the other side of my face with the Beauty Blender. And here's the side with the brush. So I'm not sure if you guys can tell, but both sides look great. But just over here where I had like a really big acne scar, you can still see it like seeping through a little bit. But everything else it hid like very nicely. I have a little dry patches here, so I do see it clinging to those dry patches, but also just a little bit over here. I have like ginormous pores, and it's not going into my pores, it's not accentuating them or anything like that. It's just like this area right here and this area right here, but everywhere else it looks beautiful. It looks very, very, very nice. It looks very natural. It looks like my skin, but definitely like better, obviously. If you don't want to like, you know, wear a full face of makeup, you can just take this foundation and you can just spot conceal anywhere you have to. Since it looks so natural and since there are so many shades, you'll most likely find your shade in this foundation, and then instead of like putting it all over your face, you can just spot conceal wherever you need to. I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup and I will be right back. Okay, so I am back and my makeup is done. The highlight I'm wearing right now is from the Huda Beauty 3D highlight palette, and I mixed a little bit of Fenty Beauty. And for my lips, I am wearing the Huda Beauty liquid lipstick in Bombshell, which is literally like my favorite go-to lipstick ever. This is what my skin looks like with everything on it. I didn't have any issue applying my bronzer, my blush, my highlight. Although, now that I'm looking at it, my highlight looks a little patchy, but I mean, it's okay. It's not really a big deal, but the rest of my makeup applied like very flawlessly. As I was doing my makeup, my mom actually walked into the room and she was like, "You didn't even do anything to your face." And I was just like, "I'm wearing foundation." And she like came closer and she was like, "Wow, it looks so good." And I was just like, "Yeah, I know. It looks very, very, very natural." You would have to come like very close for it to look like I'm wearing like a lot of foundation, because then you could see it like around my nose and around here and here. But from far, it does honestly give like the pro filter look, and I'm so happy with this. And like I said, I've been trying this out for about a week now or so, so I can give you guys like an honest opinion and review. Also, I just wanted to show you guys the foundation in natural lighting. So I'm just in front of my window right now. As you guys can see, it's very beautiful and I love it. Hey guys, so I am back and it is 7:11 right now. So I put the foundation on at 11 a.m. and now it's 7, so it's been roughly about 8 hours, and as you guys can see, this is what it looks like. So I am just a tiny just a tiny, teeny bit, how many times did I say tiny in this video? But I'm just a tiny bit oily right here and just a little bit here. Everything else is, like I said, it's great. My bronzer, my blush, my highlight, everything is still on. And I did eat, and I eat very messy. I eat very messy, so I had Subway, and like the sauces were like literally dripping all over my mouth. So yeah, and the places like where I wiped my mouth, the foundation stayed. I did take off the foundation where I wear the glass, where I wear my glasses, like all around here. But everywhere else it has stayed very nicely, and I touch my nose a lot, so all of my foundations usually tend to rub off. Also, I saw in the intro I had like a massive double chin. Oh my god, you guys, it's so hard to cover this up, but that's because like my camera was really low actually, and I was like sitting pretty high, so it was like getting this angle, so you know, your girl got a problem. You guys know what the foundation looks like after 8 hours. My final thoughts are that this foundation is amazing if you have oily skin. And since Huda does have dry skin, I know it's great for dry skin as well, but you just want to be careful if you have any dry patches because it can tend to cling onto those. And Huda said that you don't have to set your foundation, but I did set it because I am oily. And also the foundation is very sticky. It isn't that much right now, but after it was like, I gave it a good 5 minutes to see how it sets, and like when I went like this, it was still a little sticky, so I'm not sure how it would work if I didn't set it, but since I'm oily I do have to set it anyways. So I like baked under my eyes and here, basically everywhere. On a trip, and I wore this foundation from 4 a.m. to 3 a.m. like the next day, so I literally wore it for the longest time ever, and my skin got oily, but it wasn't like oily as it would be if I were to wear another foundation or even without foundation. Wearing it for literally like 23 hours or 24 hours, obviously it's not gonna look like how it did when you first put it on, but 23 hours, that's crazy. Like that is so insane, and it looked great. I only had to touch up my bronzer and my blush because that faded off, but my foundation was on. Like it was on like how it looked at 4 a.m. I did get a little oily around here and here, so I just put some powder on and it looked brand new. And my best friend was with me, and I was like, you need to try this foundation. She's like, yeah, no, my skin, blah, blah, blah. She has like very difficult skin as well. So I was just like, no, you need to try this. And she tried it and she loved it as well. She only needed to use like literally less than a pump, maybe a pump. I think she used a pump actually, but she loved it. Her skin is very oily. She, I think, had to blot just once, which is like, we were both like, oh my god, this is crazy, you know. It looked great on her skin. It looks great in photos. I'm definitely gonna be buying these foundations for like my clients, since I am a freelance makeup artist, because I think on brides and engagement photo shoots, anything like that, I think this foundation will look beautiful. I only have good things to say about this foundation. I am very pleased, and I had very high hopes for this foundation because, like I said, I've been following Huda for a very long time, and I've been keeping up with like everything she does. Literally, I sound like such a stalker, but I'm not. I just love her personality, and I love how much she loves makeup, you know, like and I love how she's always honest about everything. So to see her create this foundation, I was like stalking her Snapchat. Literally, I watch all her snaps, and I saw like how difficult it was for them to create this because they did it on their own, and how much of like a crying and laughing and emotional experience it was for her. So I had very high hopes for this foundation, and when I got this, I was very happy, and even now I am extremely pleased with this foundation. The coverage is great, and you don't even need that much, so it'll last a very long time. And there is 1.18 fluid ounce in this, so it's a little bit more than a regular foundation, which is an A++ in my books. It's pretty thick, but it does not feel heavy on the skin at all. I'm so happy that Huda Beauty like came out with a foundation that kind of like fits everyone's needs instead of just for dry skin or just for oily skin. I hope you guys enjoyed my review on the Huda Beauty foundation, and I hope this helped you if you guys were unsure whether you should get it or not, based on like my skin type, my skin color, stuff like that. If there's anything else that you guys want me to try out, test out, review, please let me know in the comments below. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. I'm also gonna link my Instagram, my Facebook, and my Twitter so you guys can follow me and we can be friends. Bye!